Hello everyone and welcome to this video, and this video is a continuation of the series on working with tools in Microsoft Excel. So we've been looking at tools like the clipboard tools, the font tools, alignment tools. Today we're looking at the number tools. We're going to look at things we can do with the number tools. And that is just what this is going to help us to see. So I have all the number formats listed here. So we want to look at them one after the other and see what exactly they do. Okay. So the first one we'll be looking at is the general format. Okay, the general format. Interestingly, all the cells rather in Excel comes with this general format. You would see that while I come to this cell and I come to the tools within this number group and then click here and click general, nothing happens because no specific format is implemented when we use the general. We would want to use the general when we want no specific format to be in a particular cell. So, and the default format for each of the cells you see here are just general, okay? But then we go to that of the number format. So if we come here and we click on this, already you see what will happen. It's going to introduce decimals to it. Okay, so that's it here. So you can see it has introduced decimals here. One other thing that this number format allows you to do is that you could align the numbers or whatever is in the cell to left, to middle, and to right, like this. So it allows us to do just that. Okay. Then we have the currency. And the currency works just like this, but you would see that it would introduce 1,000 separator when we implement it. So we come here and then we implement currency, and then it introduces 1,000 separator, and it also brings in a currency symbol inside it. One of the things you could do with the number format or the currency format is decide whether you want decimals in it or not, and you can do that here. For example, this introduces decimals and this takes out decimals. Same thing you could do here. You could take it out, you could also bring it in. But what if we do not want dollar here? We don't want the dollar sign here. That is why we have the more button here that takes us deep and tells us, okay, what exactly do we want here? So here we have so many other symbols. You could go in here and choose none, and then you see nothing will show. Click OK here and nothing shows. So you could do more of that, and let's go inside. And while we are in currency, we could use the dollar sign. We could also check for others. So you have Russian, you have Bitcoin here, you have Chinese, you have other English formats all here. You see, you could use them. You even have those of African countries. For example, you have Nigeria. So you can see Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, Fula, Edo. If you use any of these, what you're going to get is the symbol for the respective currency coming inside. Okay. And just like I said, you can also, align this to middle, center, or right. But when we come to that of accounting, let's put it in accounting. So you see that we have the currency symbol there, and we have 1,000 separator coming in, and we have decimals. But let's try to align this. No, it doesn't. Neither. Not to the left. So that is one special thing about the the accounting format. So it doesn't allow you to align the content of that cell to left, right, or middle. And that's understandable because this time we're looking at currencies, and by default, it aligns it to the right. You could also change other things here by looking at the more button, bringing up the format cell dialog box, and then you could do other things. For example, you could change the number of decimals and places, and you could also change currency here. There again, we have that of the date. Now, for so many persons, this date format that we have here is actually one that confuses some. So are we saying this is 6th January 2020? So you might want to choose better date formats and convert them to what you want. Let's look at what the quick formats that we have here would give us. So the quick format gives us this. But we could do more than this. We could go in the more button, and there in date, we could choose exactly what format that we want. We have so many formats that we can choose here. It gives us June 2020 in this format. And then we could look down and see yet other formats that we could have. So let me pick this format, and there it is for us. Also note that you could also find formats that are particular to other countries. So if you change the country here, you're going to see formats that they use, and then you could use anyone as it matches your need. Okay, then we have the time. So here we have time, and if we look at the quick format for time, it's exactly what we have here. All right, but still you could customize that to just any other thing that you want. So we could have this, we could have it like this and see what it will look like, and we could have it like this, and that is what it looks like there. So you are able to see a sample of what it looks like here and then implement it. We could have date and time together like this. We could have date and time. So whichever you feel it's ideal, you can always customize it. There again, if your country has a particular date format, once you choose that country, you'll be able to see all the formats there, and then you use that which is appropriate for your use. Okay. So so we have percentage. So what if we have done something and it appears in decimals? We do a calculation and it appears in decimals. We want it to be percentage. Well, you can easily hit here. Quickly, it becomes percentage here. And if you don't want that, you can always go to percentage here and then choose exactly what you want. So here we find that we could have decimals in our percentage to show. We could reduce this to 1 to be like this, and then okay, so that's it. So we can customize it and convert it to whatever we want. Here we have a decimal, but what if we wanted it to be a fraction? Again, we could come here and use the quick formats here to change it to 1/4. So if we click this, that's what it shows here. So you have all the you have other fractions, formats that you could see here. So you have different kinds of formats here that you could see and then use them. There they are. So if we had here we had something like 1. So you can see it's like 1 whole number 1/4. But if you go to other formats here, you could see that we have other formats by which we can represent them. We have other formats that it can come to. So you see, so you are free to choose which format you want or the way you want it to come up, and then use that use that format. Okay, so that's for that. For scientific, it brings it up in scientific mode. So we could just come here and click, and that is what it is in scientific mode. For text, here I have a number here, and by default, numbers that start with zero cannot. The zero is taken out when you hit your enter button. But I could decide to format this as text, and then just enter 0703898334, something like this. And so you can see that my zero stays there. So sometimes when we want to enter numbers and we want the first digit, which is a zero, to also appear, you could format as text. Usually text cannot be calculated, cannot be summed up. You only have a count for them. So you want to take note of that when you are using the text format. You see, ID numbers, identification numbers that have zero at the beginning can be formatted as text so that they show up in this way. So we have others that are special numbers, special formats. Okay, so these are zip codes, these are phone numbers and social security numbers. These are added in Excel so that we can use them. So for that of the zip codes are about 5 numbers, and so but here I have 4 numbers. So see what happens when I use the special and then zip code for it. So notice here in the sample that I have a 0 coming before what I have written here. So what it is there is that there is a placeholder there. If we have a number, yes, it would appear. If I had 5 numbers here, then it would just appear as 5 numbers. But if I don't, then it's going to provide me a 0 at the beginning. So that's what this one gives to me. However, we have zip codes that come with just more than that 4 numbers or 5 numbers, as the case may be. So if we come to special here, and then we select that with 4, you can see what it does for me. So it gives me 5 zeros, a hyphen, and then whatever number that I've entered. But if I've entered the 9 numbers that represents the zip code that I want to bring in here, it's going to show them, and it will have a hyphen in between them. That is the first 5 numbers, a hyphen, and then the remaining numbers will come this way. I hope you understand that. Okay, so for phone numbers, what it does is that it takes the first 3 numbers and then it puts them inside a bracket. So this is it. So if I do this, so you see what it does here. So the first 3 numbers are inside the bracket, and then you have the other numbers. Next 3 numbers, a hyphen, and the remaining numbers will come after it. So that is what it does. So if you want your phone numbers in this way, you can always use the special and use phone number, and then you will get exactly this. What it does is that we go to the special and then we social security. So you see hyphens are introduced at appropriate points in our social security number. So if you were entering social security number, you can format the cell, or you can format the column with this format here. So you could also choose countries, and then the respective formats will be displayed for you to use. So we just do this, and that is what we have here. So like you may have observed, we have customs here. So with the customs, we have already pre-custom formats that you can pick and use here. You can pick them and then use them and then see what comes of them. So there are date formats, there are number formats, there are those that come with currencies, and you have a lot of them here. But it will interest you to know that you can enter your own custom functions. You can enter your own custom functions here if you know how to build custom functions. That is considered an aspect of advanced Excel. So we'll be taking different functions one after the other and creating videos for them. So that's going to come up in a different series because there is a lot that we are going to consider under custom functions. However, the pre-custom functions, those that ships with Excel, you can also use them. Much of these formats are already here. You have some that are not here, and so you're going to see how they're used. But for you to understand how they came about with all of these, more explanations to that, and then you'll be seeing that in the series that will be creating custom number formats in Excel. So if you hooked onto the channel, definitely you would see when these videos come up if they are already not there. For now, let's just do a simple practice with what we have learned here. I have a table here and it has these columns. And assuming that we prepared this table and we want to apply custom number formats to them, what will we do? So like these that has text, we don't need to format them because they are already general and they will take just any number format that we give it. You see, for example, if it was going to be a date, I could say 1st January 2020, and you see it just takes it as if I had formatted it as a date cell. So it can take any of them and quickly understand what it means and tell you that this is a custom number format. See, so that is what they do. So I'm not going to do any custom formatting here. Now the ID numbers also, I don't need to custom format them at all. They can stay like this and that's fine. So the join date, I might want it to be something different from this. So I'm going to go in here, dates, and then I'll choose exactly how I want to see it. Possibly I'll choose that I want it to be like this. Okay, so fine. And then there it goes. See, so I can also choose that I want to implement other date formats like this, and then there we have it. There we have it. Or I could decide that, you see, all of these that I have here, none is okay. We can use this one. Fine, that was what I was looking for, and then we have it this way. So it stays this way. Whichever you want, you can always have it in there. So we have monthly salaries here. So one of the things you can do is you could quickly go here and just insert this so that you have 1,000 separators. Or if you wanted to have a currency, you can also do that like we mentioned earlier. You can come here. This is accounting, but it's none here. So you could choose to use the dollar, and that it is there. You could use any one that suits your need, and then we have it there. Now, this is percentage of total salary. So all of them adds up to 1. So here, I could select them, in fact, all of them here, and then just hit percent here. So I could also choose that I want some decimals in it. So I could do this here, and then it gives us just what we want here. So what if I wanted it to be scientific notation? Okay, I already have it here. If it were general, it would be this. And then scientific, just come and click this, and then we have it here. Also here, we have it in fractions. So if it were general, like we have it here, it should have been, decimals like this. And we pick it and say, no, we want it to be fraction. And so we just come here and have this here. So that's why we have it a fraction. Time of first arrival. So we have this here. We could decide that, no, we want it to be something else. So you can see that from our custom, I could pick exactly what I want. I could say I want it to be this, or I want it to be this, you get, and I want it to be date, and whatsoever I want it, I could, use it here. So that's how these custom formats work. So you can pick from here and then you can implement it just there. Okay. Then we have phone numbers here. This time we want the phone numbers to be text. Like I mentioned, if you try to enter this, it's going to take out the 0 there. So what I would do is pre-select them and then make them text. I want it to be text, and I can enter just anything I want. And there we are. So you're going to see this green green notation here indicating that this is a number, but you have stored it as a text here. So we could have other things there. We could have other things there. And then we could have okay. So let me just have one there. So that's how we could have those entered as text. So for these ones, the special numbers, so since they are phone numbers, I'm going to select them and go to special and then implement them as phone numbers like this. So that's how it will appear. If you want it this way, we can have it that way. Then we have these other ones, they're zip codes. So you see, I've done this just 3 numbers, 4 numbers, 3 numbers here, and see what happens with them. So we go to special, and then we just use zip code for them here. And then you see the zeros have been introduced to give us 5, characters, or 5 numbers. And so here for Social Security, the same thing. We can go in here, click here, and special, and we can take Social Security. So that's what it gives us. And then we can have something like this. So this is just an example of ways in which you can format your numbers or use the tools that are in this group, on this number group. So you want to look forward to having videos on the creating custom number formats, those that you create on your own. They are very interesting things you could do with them, so you want to look up to that in this channel. So it's been nice having you to watch my video, and I hope to see you in yet another video. So thank you very much. Have a nice time.